Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner Football Fans podcast. You got Terry, Rob, and Caleb here. Wait for it. Horns down, Rob.
Horns down, Terry.
Horns down, Caleb.
Horns down.
Yep. It is that time
Texas
of year.
week.
Texas week. Texas sucks all the time. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is there any other numbers I can throw out?
For me, I kind of like
Only in
just,
days that end in Y.
Yeah.
I like this hatred to kick up more for me this week because I don't like care about Texas outside of this. People are obsessed about them. I don't care. They can do what the heck they want. And then this week though is when my hatred comes up. So all throughout the year I watch them and laugh at them, but I don't really care if they win or lose. But this week is actually screw this team.
Yeah. Well, let's get our stuff out of the way. We are coming from you from the Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma,
where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
but we do have eligibility left. So remember to check out our YouTube videos on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel from Louis, Thursday night at Louis.
Hey, we got an exciting surprise coming up, right?
We do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to wait to find out about all that. But check out tailgateconnect.com. Dan from Tailgate Connect can set you up with the best tailgates across the country. Tailgating is a national pastime with football, and go check him out. If you're traveling, you want to go check out other podcasts. You don't want to check out other podcasts, other tailgates.
Oh, is that fair or foul?
And we got the Cardinals game on. So,
come on.
For all you Sooner fans out there listening from across the country, another Sooner fan, Dave Lamb, is the founder of TeamBarfinder.com. You can find your watch parties in your community, or you can start one, put it on Team Bar Finder. People can find you, or go find the best watch parties around your communities. TeamBarfinder.com. So,
it doesn't work if you're out in the sticks. I'm just saying.
Did you try to use it out in the sticks?
I tried, absolutely. No places around there had.
Well, now let's see. Clarify sticks, Rob. Where were you at?
Southwest Oklahoma.
Well, there's nothing in Southwest Oklahoma.
I know. There are no places shows the game either.
But let's talk about the Oklahoma-Kansas game. Oklahoma wins 45-20 in Lawrence, Kansas. Maybe the ugliest football game I have ever watched in my entire life.
Wasn't that bad.
Caleb?
No, yeah, you have to wait for me real fast. Playoff baseball right now. So,
by the way, if that gets down, it scores 2 and Atlanta wins.
God dang it!
Before we get into it, what's the deal with game day going back-to-back SEC and back-to-back Florida?
Well, I mean, they're the SEC conference. We all know that.
The ESCCPN?
Yeah, the ESCCPN.
Well, also Fox has our rights too, so that's part of it too.
Fox is coming. Last year Fox and ESPN.
There's another game. So that game's a quote unquote better matchup.
Yeah,
quote unquote. But I mean,
well, they've typically never went back-to-back, same team back-to-back weeks.
Right.
So that really kind of.
I wasn't surprised. I mean,
I don't know. I'm taking it a little bit personally, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've watched game day from beginning to end this past weekend, because we're always busy with the tailgate or something. But, there's really, it has become the SEC love network.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, look at the top 25.
Oh, Vanderbilt. They should be ranked in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, how is A&M still ranked? They've got 2 losses.
And they're lousy. They're not very good. So
no, they aren't good.
Is it because I saw on Twitter somebody said, well, Alabama needs those quality wins, so they keep them in the top 25.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, Oklahoma stands at a solid number 6.
I was surprised we didn't get jumped. I thought for sure we wouldn't get jumped.
By Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got, again, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, LSU, and Oklahoma. When does this start weeding itself out?
Maybe this week. I mean, with OSU, the SEC teams they're going to beat themselves. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they start losing. Then OU Texas, if OU wins this game, pretty much we should win every game. Only scared maybe is Baylor. But I mean, we should win every game handily after this week. So
yeah, but teams like Ohio State, they're not even going to get challenged.
Well, they'll play Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. That'll be a good game. That's
but they won't even have a challenge. I mean, at least we have, Oklahoma State's going to challenge us.
Yeah.
Baylor's going to challenge us. I think Iowa State's going to challenge us.
Penn State's pretty good too. Penn State can score with anyone.
We'll see.
Well, this is one of those years like we were talking earlier on. If Oklahoma loses a game, they're out this year.
I don't think they'll
you're
make
right.
it. I know some people talking to still make it. It's just like our resume is not very good at all. I think UCLA lost to Oregon State last night. So, I mean, it's just we can't afford to lose a game.
Yeah, it's and it's playing up to like I said, we got Penn State and Ohio State are undefeated. LSU and Florida, they play this weekend. So
yeah, so one of those guys were at least
whoever wins that game, if Florida wins that game, I'm sure they'll leap us.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I think it's at LSU too. So I mean, honestly, if they win that game, I won't have a problem with that.
No,
to go to the swamp and not the swamp, but the Death Valley at night.
I mean, literally, that'll tell us how good Texas is. Of course, we're going to find out this week anyway. But if if LSU beats Florida, then they're a pretty salty team, and Texas has hung with LSU for a good long while.
Yeah,
could have easily won that game.
Yeah, they could have won it.
Speaking of the Big 12, before we get into the Oklahoma, how about them Cowboys? Okie stank.
Oh my gosh!
Finally, I start drinking Kool-Aid with them. They go through all that dud.
And that game, it ended up 45-35, but that game wasn't even close.
Oh my God, they can play no defense.
No,
I mean they look like we did last year.
Since they have a 3-man front, like why would you have a 3-man, especially against them? Like they're a run first team. Like it made no sense at all.
I mean, they still put up good offensive numbers, I think, didn't they? Come on.
Pop.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Got out of it. Here we go.
Are
you a Braves fan or something?
We are watching the Braves-Cardinals game at the Podcast
It was
Palace.
a full bases loaded, top of the 8th.
Of course, I'm a Braves fan. Dale Murphy back in the day? I have his jersey.
I'm a Cardinals fan here.
Because Rob can't stand to watch the Cowboys right now being drudged.
Taken apart by the Packers.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers owns that team.
Terrible.
Yeah, what
Cowboys
was it?
Are just bad.
It's 24-0 last time we checked. So
yeah.
they might have scored. You never know.
Did you guys see the hit Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, he got knocked out cold.
I don't think I did. No.
Dude, I will show it to you afterwards. He
got knocked out?
He was out from the hit, and then he hit his head on the ground. Like he was out for
He was UFC stiff body.
They had to cut his face mask off, and then the cart broke, so they had to carry him off.
But he walked off. I mean, he got up.
He got dragged off.
Yeah.
He didn't walk.
Did whoever hit him?
It was actually Earl Thomas.
Did he get kicked out of the game?
Nope.
All right, good.
No, he hit him in the jaw.
Right in the jaw. And he was out, and so you see his eyes roll back to his head, and he just falls. And he was like motionless for like a 3 or 4 minutes or so.
Yeah,
concussion protocol.
Yeah, he probably.
We might be done for the year, honestly.
Yeah, they may not. He's not going to get back in the game for a week. They're not going to put him back in the game.
So who's his backup?
It's this one guy. He actually played really well.
Yeah, he did. I can't think of his name now.
I don't know what his name is. He broke like NCAA records of like yards or something. Like
FCS school.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent.
He played really good though. Like he actually almost won the game for him.
Did they lose?
They lost.
Lost in overtime.
Oh, Juju fumbled in overtime.
So they're still 0-1?
They got one. They beat Cincinnati last week. The Cardinals also beat Cincinnati too. So the Cardinals had the first win. Kyler Murray on the win.
What do you think about Iowa State? Finally, sounds like they came together, thumping on the Horned Frogs of TCU.
Those uniforms. Those uniforms were awesome.
I couldn't tell who was who there.
I couldn't either.
It's confusing. I'm not watching this anymore.
I love their uniforms. Their uniforms are sick.
Cowboys scored. But Iowa State wins 49-24. Baylor beat the crap out of Kansas
Baylor's
State.
Good.
31-12.
Are they ranked now?
Number 22.
So our early preseason rankings, we had Kansas on the bottom.
Yeah.
Kansas State. So this is looking like maybe that was right after all.
Yeah.
Because we were like, I don't know.
Kansas State looked pretty good.
Maybe Mississippi State's just terrible. Maybe we bought into SEC hype. Maybe.
Yeah. But and then of course Texas outlasts West Virginia, 42-31. I watched part of that game.
It wasn't that close.
Huh?
It wasn't that close.
What do you mean it wasn't that close?
Texas is like, the first quarter they didn't play good, and then they beat the crap out of them the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Oscar going to have 4 interceptions. So I mean, like that game was close at first, like against Kansas, and I think they had up to 20 points for majority of the second half.
Okay, well, let's talk about this Oklahoma game yesterday. Again, what I'm calling it was ugly football.
It's probably everyone's saying it's probably Lincoln Riley's worst half of football coaching. That first half was pretty bad.
We actually punted on 4th and goal from our own 33 or 35. Something.
Oh, like 50.
Yeah, it was midfield.
So, what happened?
Look ahead, Texas.
You think they're looking ahead?
And also didn't respect him at all. I mean, the whole first touchdown all that started because they went after like Murray got hurt, and they went right after the replacement, and the guy missed 2 tackles that Murray would have had.
Right there. That's a terrible call.
They can challenge it.
Anyway, yeah, I agree. I mean, we were looking ahead, but think about it like this for just a moment. The whole first half, right before halftime, it was 14-7, right? And we looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was touchdown, and it was quick.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we were trying to just sneak by it in a vanilla mode. I mean, we weren't doing anything.
I don't know. We're doing those reverse passes and double reverses in the.
Yeah, but we're not going to run that stuff against anybody else.
I think we're just doing to have it on film, I guess.
Yeah.
Offensive line played like garbage yesterday. I can say that much. Offensive line, that's a big worry for this next week.
Well, the offensive line, there was a whole bunch of new people because we still got 2 guys hurt.
Yeah, we won't have one, I think 2 games maybe of a healthy offensive line.
But when they did come together, they played pretty good. But I just felt like that right before halftime, Lincoln was like, okay, I'm tired of this. Let's go ahead and step on the gas, and then boom, 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 we scored just immediately.
But and I think looking past them, but you're in Lawrence, Kansas. It's 60 degrees and raining.
Yeah, already
30-minute rain delay. You're sitting around in the locker room. They really didn't warm up. I mean, they even said it. That during the game, it wasn't that they didn't warm up. That they went to both teams and said, okay. And they all stayed in their locker room. Both teams stayed in their locker room. They didn't come out and do anything more or less, and you're in a rain delay. It was sloppy.
And I'll say this too. We've seen Kansas play really well this year against Boston College.
Yeah.
I think Kansas came out and played their best game against us.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel like they did as good as they can play. I think they played that.
That first touchdown pass the guy had, like, I don't care who you are. Like, you do that pass right there on the money. So I mean, I don't care who's playing defense right there. That pass was around the money. So I mean,
and it's official. I do not like anybody named Puka.
Puka,
that dude,
he's legitimate.
Yeah.
He's legitimate.
At least against us, at least.
Yeah, against Oklahoma, Puka becomes a nightmare.
How many yards did he have?
He ended up with 137 yards on 23 carries.
He almost cut in half from last year.
Yeah, well, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Well, even though they move the ball sometimes on us, I still feel like our defense played really well.
Well, because they just got a lot of 3rd and longs, like weird plays, like it's weird stuff. And then we also had dumb penalties to start the game too.
Yeah, and
that's one thing we got to fix up for sure. Is the penalties.
And I don't know if it's us or if it's the Big 12 officiating.
The Big 12 officiating is terrible.
It's terrible because the Texas game was the same. Well, they were throwing flags.
They throw flags like crazy.
I know.
Like it's terrible when other teams they officiate other teams and they're like they freak out. Other fan bases aren't used to it. Like how bad are these refs? Like, yep, welcome to our world because they're the worst, probably worse.
But crews. We ended up with 9 penalties, and we are leading the NCAA in penalty yards, which is not a good stat.
Not a good place to be.
Because and Oklahoma has overcome it against these lesser teams. It's 3rd and 15. We get 22. You're not always going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that against Texas.
No.
You're going to have to. Keep the hands from grabbing. We've been getting a lot of personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, the game was real chippy. Kansas was there to fight.
Yeah, I mean, Murray started it kind of when pregame just ran through their thing in pregame, and so I mean, there's something about Kansas that we just want to fight them. I don't know what it is. But it's weird. But last 2 times we've gone to Lawrence, it's been real chippy. It's Kansas. We shouldn't really care about them, but I guess since they keep talking crap, I guess. Because even after the game, Murray put a picture up over Puka, saying, "You talk crap, this is what happens." And their backup linebacker went after Murray after that, saying you're soft and you're a wuss, stuff like that. Dude,
So Caleb, everybody wants to know.
That was stupid defense.
They scored 20 points.
Yeah. I think 14 in fourth quarter, like you guys said, might happen.
Yeah.
Like we were gonna shut them out all game, and then they get some trash touchdowns at the end.
And we didn't even get to see them because Fox broke away to the.
Or ESPN did.
ESPN broke away to
ESPN,
the Texas game.
Yeah. We didn't see the last two touchdowns.
And we don't have ESPNU here anymore because I got tired of paying half my salary to DirecTV.
ESCCPN.
So we didn't get to see them. We listened to Toby Rowland.
Toby Rowland and them.
And they weren't even into it.
There's like, I think like everyone that's kind of like, just get out of here. The wins, take the wins, get out of here.
The last 7 minutes, I guess, is when they scored their 2 touchdowns.
Pretty much, yeah.
But that first drive for a touchdown, I was ticked off. I mean, 99.5-yard touchdown drive. It only counted as 98, but and we were laughing because they had 2 false start penalties. And so me and Caleb were laughing. It's like, oh my God. And then Puka goes for 20 and Puka goes for 15.
You skipped the most important thing. Murray got hurt first.
Yeah, Murray got hurt.
That's the most important thing that happened on that drive. He's our heart and soul of our defense. And like I said, and right after he got hurt, they went right after his replacement. And he got juked twice by Puka for 15.
Well, and Les Miles, let's give him a little credit. Les Miles knew, he knew what was going to work. And then, when we figured it out, we shut it down. So, they
didn't make any adjustments at all.
That. I mean, they still made a play here and there, but for the most part, we shut them down.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts, Rob, on Les Miles and his national championship LSU ring on the sidelines?
Well, I don't blame him. I'd big dog it too.
They're talking about how all things has to do to overcome recruiting in Kansas, like that show on the ESPN Plus, the rings, like all the Snoop Dogg thing, whatever. Even though that was basketball, but still. Like I'm sure he'll use that to his advantage too.
Did you hear about that? Snoop Dogg did the concert
for midnight basketball, whatever,
and the university apologized.
And who's under investigation for paying players? And Snoop Dogg had a money machine,
shooting money
out.
Yeah, but it was money with his picture on it.
Yeah, but still, it's still like when Kansas has violations, like first violations, and the basketball team especially, and they're
what did Kansas think they were going to get? They had stripper poles. They had I'm sure there was medicinal marijuana floating around. All medicinal though.
All medicinal. Everybody's got glaucoma. You got glaucoma? Yep,
I got glaucoma.
I think, and then and obviously, of course, he didn't censor himself at all one bit, which is also kind of funny. I kind of respect all of it. I thought it was all hilarious.
It's a cigarette.
It's a cigarette. Weed.
Even if it's Snoop Dogg, what's the point? Like no one's gonna arrest him. That's not worth it. This is paperwork for the cops to do because he'll just get out instant. Like, all right, see y'all later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but the Kansas game. Here's the thing. We're as fans and in the moment, we get upset watching what was going on Saturday. I did, Rob, you and I texting back and forth and other friends texting. It's like, what the hell? But now, there were fans going on social media. I didn't see really any on Twitter, but Facebook fans were like dumbing it up. Putting things out like, they need to pull Hurts now.
Pump the brakes.
What do you mean pull Hurts? Okay. Why would you?
It's just...
we don't have Mike Stoops to complain about, so now they're complaining. Jalen Hurts had nothing to do with what was going on in that game.
Right, I agree with you. Let me ask you this though: how do you feel about Jalen now?
About the
same.
About the same. He's
but what is that?
Is
he as good as Kyler? Or Baker?
He's different. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
it's different. He controls the game. Like when he's out there, he controls everything. It's pretty much. And he's just in command of like the whole team. They're all different. Like Baker was different from Kyler. Baker was a little cocky and knew he was and got in your face. Kyler was just confident, quiet, cocky, and Jalen's kind of a mixture, a little bit both. I think because Jalen's cocky as hell on the field, but he just but outside the field, he's like Kyler. He just doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I think, that's the only way I can put it too. He's different. He's, as fast as Kyler is, I think he's a better runner than Kyler.
Yeah, That's for sure.
Because he
likes to run. One, Kyler didn't like running.
And, the announcer said, Kyler didn't like to get hit. He always slid. No, Kyler was smart.
Yeah.
He's
tiny.
Right. I mean, when you're 5'6" and 190, you slide.
Yeah. So, but he's different. I mean, and
I still don't think his interceptions were either one were his fault.
Neither one of his INTs.
He should have
were
one
his
pick
fault.
six though, but
that one.
He had a couple of passes there that were not good.
But we've yet to see him really throw it downfield, but he hasn't had to.
He hasn't been challenged.
Well, there was a couple there that he threw, and he just overthrew him a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, he's got a real strong arm.
Yeah.
Like a couple of those balls were lasers.
Yeah. I mean, I won't really know Jalen until like kind of happened with Kyler last year to see how he does with adversity. I mean, but then again, Alabama, he only lost 2 games.
Yeah.
And a lot of their games were close. I mean, he brought Georgia back. I mean, Bama back from the dead against Georgia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just hard to tell so far this year. What helps is we might have the best receiving core, top 2 receiving core in the country.
Yeah.
Like, I think us and Bama.
In football, period.
I think us and Bama are right there because Bama's receiving core is.
Wow.
I think they have 3 first-rounders this year in Bama's receiving core. Ours are young.
And people have been asking, what's happened to Calcaterra? Well, Hazelwood is what's happened to Calcaterra.
Hazelwood's a faster, stronger, bigger.
He's not. He's running all underneath routes. Do you notice that he's running the crossing routes? Hazelwood is.
He's not bigger, but
no, he's but
taller.
You know what I mean. That's he's getting the balls that normally would have gone to the tight end. But when you got your receiver dragging across the front.
You'd rather hit him.
You're going to hit him more than you are going to hit your tight end.
And he's going to be a problem. He already is a problem. Like, he's going to be so good here soon.
I mean, it's not, and we're just not used to that at Oklahoma. We're not used to our tight end not, catching 5 or 6 balls a game, Mark Andrews, blasted. Mark Andrews was a different beast altogether.
Mark Andrews was a receiver.
Right. Yeah, he was a receiver playing tight end.
He was in the pros, too.
Yeah,
He's the first receiver playing tight end in the pros, too.
And holy cow, Packers scored again?
Yeah.
No, sorry. I mean, so it's there's a lot of people asking that, what's going on with Calcaterra? I just think there's enough weapons out there. He's just not getting the ball.
He caught 1 ball, I think, yesterday, and that was it.
And I think Hazelwood's getting 2 or 3 targets a game, if not more.
Also help you that we don't throw the ball that much as we used to. We run the ball way more than we have the last couple of years.
Yeah, and that's another whole topic in itself because I'm not so sure out of the top 3 running backs who's the best.
I have no idea. I think Brooks might be the best because I think he has the best breakaway speed. But I've been a big Stevenson guy since the first day I saw him on field. It's like, that guy is a monster.
All I know is that Kansas safety knows who Stevenson is after that 1 touchdown.
You know what? He's not that fast, but they couldn't catch him.
They couldn't catch him. That was weird.
Other one too, like that 80-yard run he has. Like, I think he's a little bit faster than Pirine was because Pirine always got out and got caught, ran down. I think he's a little bit faster than Pirine is, which is fast enough to.
But man, he is big.
He's a big, strong kid, isn't he?
Was he a junior too?
I mean, that one run, he broke 4 tackles en route to the end zone.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang.
And Sermon,
like, he's good. And like, he's just like, he has to get going. Like, he's always slow start, and then once he gets going, he's good.
And for some reason yesterday, I don't know, maybe it's just happened to him so much. He was leaving his feet a lot. I mean, he was trying to jump defenders a lot yesterday. I was like, man, he needs to, come down on the top of his head and be done for. He keeps jumping.
Some of those plays though that are obvious. Nice pick. That are obvious. Quarterback draw plays when the safety split and the line opens up like the Red Sea. I mean, I don't blame Jalen for just taking off because it's 25, 30 yards every time that happens.
Yeah.
But there's some of those times I'd really like for him to step up and act like he's going to run and then hit CD deep.
Yeah.
Or somebody deep.
He does that sometimes. It just depends. Like, I'm sorry, it's baseball. Like, the whole freaking time he's been out there, they've been watching him to pick him the whole time. Stupid.
So anyway, Oklahoma ended up with 268 yards rushing, 277 yards passing, 545 total yards. What do you call those type of stats?
Basic. For you, pretty much.
It's balanced.
Balanced. I mean, They averaged 9.6 yards a pass and 7.2 yards per rush. Ran the ball 37 times and were 20 of 29. Yeah, 20 of 29 passing. So it's a pretty balanced, pretty vanilla.
But still good. Still really good. I mean, look at Tremonde Stevenson's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 5 carries for $105 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's all he's going to do, we got to set him on the bench. Oh, he ripped that one.
He's dropping.
One
catch it. That would have been a run if that guy didn't get caught.
But, it, like I say, I think Lincoln, I mean, even after the game, did you see the part of the press conference where you could hear a toilet flush while Lincoln, and he kind of mentioned, goes, that's kind of, I never had that happen before, but it's kind of how I felt about some of my play calls today.
Yeah.
He was off. He even admitted to being off.
Well, he did call some kind of silly, plays that he never ever calls.
Yeah, and he seems to do that. And Caleb, you made a good point. He seems to do that when he's just wanting it to put it out there. So Texas has to go.
Well, he can get away with it. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He did against Georgia too. So I mean.
Well, the pass to Hurts was the same play they threw to Baker.
We also Georgia. I think that was the first swoop kick we done since the Georgia game.
Yeah, we all about had a heart attack on that.
I really wish he did at UCLA. The first kickoff, he did swoop kick. I thought that'd been pretty funny. People will have heart attacks, but it'd been hilarious.
Yeah. That would have been pretty funny.
That would have been good.
But no, I mean, man, it's a win. A win's a win. It was an ugly win. It doesn't really. I mean, people across the country who they didn't watch it, they're just going to see, Oklahoma beat them 40-20.
Yeah. That's how almost every
45-20.
Pretty much every big team, pretty much this weekend was like that. It was just like a sloppy weekend, kind of.
Yeah, and like I said, that Texas West Virginia game, it was sloppy.
It was sloppy, yeah. Ellinger is unstoppable though. They couldn't stop him to save their life.
Yeah, that offense in Texas is pretty good. They're going to move the ball on us, I think, fairly well. But really, we ought to be able to just go right through their defense.
You should.
So,
I think best matchup is going to be their O line versus our D line, because I think that's how we win the game is with our pressure. So I think that's the most important matchup of the game.
And we've got some kids that are really starting to shine. Turner Yell, I think that kid's going to be a star, and Jaden Davis. I think both of those guys.
And he's a freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Yes.
Yeah,
and he's one of the guys that people are using as an example of Grinch's style of defense. Is like it's effort. If you get out here and you tear it up and you make every play and you're where you're supposed to be putting it. This kid just came not out of nowhere, but
was he the guy
nobody was expecting him to start?
Was he the guy that Lincoln went crazy about? Like he got last.
No, that was Credell.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't played yet this year, I don't think.
Yeah,
but
which is strange. I figured they would have.
Yeah, may have redshirted him or.
Yeah.
But Sam Eleanor, Caleb, you got to pronounce his name properly. Comes in with 1,448 yards, 120 completions, 173 attempts. So he's been sacked 9 times and thrown 2 interceptions.
It's pretty good.
So,
it's not bad, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, they're down to their last running back, I think, so.
No, they're their quarterback playing. Their backup quarterback's playing running back. And that guy was killing West Virginia.
Yeah, Hurts, of course, is 82 of 109 for 1,523 yards, 2 interceptions, and 4 sacks because people can't catch it. And I think 2 of those came against Kansas.
Yeah, a couple of sacks in Kansas.
So,
well, I don't know. Obviously I'm not collegiate coach material, but I feel like we ought to bring a pretty heavy run blitz next week and try and get to Eleanor as many times as we can.
Yeah.
Get her scared back there.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might I hate that guy with the passion, but he's picking people apart like crazy.
Have you hated any quarterback more than you hate Eleanor?
No, I don't think so. Like I forget how much I hate him.
Why is your hatred for him so deep?
Stupid. He's cocky as hell. He's a big crybaby about the Texas long horns down. Like he cried last year out there, West Virginia, saying he's gonna remember everyone that did this. He's gonna mark all their names down and get revenge. Yeah, I hate that guy so much. He's just annoying, but he's fucking good. Sorry, but he's really good. I mean, again, that's what makes him even more annoying because he's actually good now. Because like last 2 years, I didn't think he was that good, but he's like it's not only that he can run the ball, but he legit is picking teams apart with his arm. So like that West Virginia game, they're on 3rd down and longs, and they were like, I think the first because like West Virginia hold back like too long, like first 2 plays would stop them, and then it'd be like 3rd and 15 for like the first 10 like possessions they had it pretty much, like, and he'll get them every time. Like he'll just pick them apart.
Well, they're running a lot of curl routes, which for a quarterback is pretty easy, but that's why he's got so many picks. Is because when that curl route gets read right.
No, he only has 2. He only has 2. He's just like Jalen. He only has 2.
Oh, I thought he said 6.
No, he's been sacked I think 6 times. He only has 2 picks. 9 times.
Yeah, 9 times and 2 picks.
Yeah, he's only had 2 picks. I mean, he said he's having like passing wise this season as good as Jalen. Like I mean,
17 TDs. Jalen's got 14. That's passing. I'm pretty sure Jalen has more rushing. Jalen is still the leading rusher.
That's a catch.
On the team. With almost 500 yards rushing. Trey Sermon has 345 yards rushing, and Stevenson has 320. Brooks, of course, didn't play. This past week has 206 yards rushing. So, how many teams have that many guys with that with those numbers rushing?
Maybe Bama, maybe.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of teams that have
Army, maybe.
So, Tanner Mordecai even has 19 yards, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys with over 200 yards rushing. 3 with over 300 and 1 with over 400, and that's Jalen Hurts. Hurts is averaging 8.8 yards. Sermon 7.7. Stevenson 10.7. Brooks 8.2, and Pledger, who's only ran the ball 3 times, but he's gained 30 yards. How does that guy not get on the field more?
Especially this weekend where we're shorthanded.
Yeah, so
he got 1 carry that I know of this yesterday. Pledger.
Yeah, but I mean, so what's Oklahoma going to do? What do we got to do to put it on the Longhorns?
I don't know, man. I'm nervous.
I always get nervous for this game because you don't want it's pride, it's the love of the team.
It's birthday weekend,
and it's your birthday weekend, but it's also you don't want to have to listen to Texas fans again because they're the world's worst,
and like national fans who like people who never buy an OU think OU's just one dimensional because there's a lot of people out there who
that still think it.
So I mean, you have to hear all those guys come out of the word works. There's that forgetting to put his phone on silent again.
No, that was my alarm. I don't know what my 6 o'clock alarm is to wake me up for my nap.
Well, the defense has improved, and we're going to see that. And I think that we're gonna roll Texas. I'm not going to say fairly easily, but a lot better than people are giving it.
You think so? You think we're going to go?
When have we done that in the last 10 years? We haven't done that once in the last 10 years.
But I'm thinking
like every game against Texas the last 10 years has been the nail biter, unless they beat the crap out of us.
That's what I'm saying. Just because I feel like, we beat them out of the twice we played them last year. We beat them once, and we beat them pretty good. And of course they beat us pretty good, but we could not stop them in that first game at all.
No, at all.
So this game we're going to have some stops. I mean, we are. Because the defense is that much improved, and I don't feel like there's anything they can do to stop Jalen in our offense.
Oh yeah, I don't know that there is either. I mean, I don't think there's anything anybody can do. I mean, listening to the national media and stuff, that's the perception of Oklahoma too. Nobody's going to stop this offense. Yeah. I mean, period. You're just not going to do it. The weight of the team is on the defense, and whether or not this defense can hold these teams under, this is the first time since I think somebody said 2006 that Oklahoma has held its opponents under 20 points in the first 5 games.
Wow.
So,
see, I'm more confident about this week's game than I have been any of the previous Red River rivalries.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I think it's good.
I'm not. I don't trust our secondary at all. This would be the first quarterback we've gone against that actually can test the secondary, and I'm scared to death that he's going to pick us apart.
Well, that's going to depend on that front seven and whether or not the speed D gets through there. Because I'm telling you, and you know it. I mean, you rushing just a half a second. There's bad decisions. You know what I mean? I mean, they did it against Kansas, and the announcers even said something about it. Was he's just he's not getting hit, but he's not being able to stand comfortably in the pocket.
Right.
There was always somebody in his face when he was getting ready to throw the ball.
So even though I feel like the defense is a lot better, and I don't feel like we've seen a game where we were just like, wow, that's some defensive coaching right there. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to see in this game. I think we've been holding back. We're going to see some ingenious blitzing packages, some different stuff, like that pass that K9 almost got.
Yeah.
You realize that he had dual responsibility in that play. It was a play action, so he's got to read that and then make a play.
Right.
So, when that play action happens, he's going to fill his gap and then realize and then step back and still almost made that interception. Right. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is I think we're going to see Grinch shine against Texas.
No, I watched the old what's his name? Ohio State's ex-coach,
Urban
Meyer, and he broke down Oklahoma's offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an Urban Meyer fan, but he gave it the respect that it deserved. And he goes, now, again, he pointed out, he goes, this is against, lesser talented, and this works in flat defenses. And boy, he said, what I mean by flat defenses is base. He goes, but that's the ingenious part of it is he makes you go base. He puts you in that situation. And they said, well, how do you get out of that? One of the guys did. And he goes, to not go base. And he was like, if you don't go base against Oklahoma, you better be really good at every position, because then somebody is going to break out of there altogether. He goes, but he forces you. And then he just showed some of the ingenious, and one of my favorite plays that I've seen several people show, I can't remember who it was against, but they're reading the defensive tackle is reading the linebacker, and so is Jalen. And if that linebacker takes the underneath guy, it opens up that draw, and you see the offensive tackle read him, and when he takes the receiver, off he goes, and Jalen's going right behind him.
Right, yeah, I've seen that same thing. It was pretty good.
And Urban was like, that you've got a lineman reading the coverage and making the decision for the play.
Yeah.
And when Jalen sees him go off, they both at the same time were just like, boom.
They were reading the nose guard, weren't they? So as soon as that nose guard committed one way or the other, then the lineman was like, all right, we're doing this now. So,
but it was, but I mean, he said, that's the ingenious part of Lincoln Riley's offense is that he forces you to go base defense. And if you don't go base defense, you better be able to match up with everybody. And he goes, and with this receiving core,
how many people are matching up with CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah,
not many.
Or all of them out there at the same time. Who's going to match up with every guy? Because whoever is not matched up is going to get skunked. And
I think CD ought to be returning every kick and punt and everything.
Okay,
I was saying I wasn't a fan of that just because I don't want him to get hurt. That's like one of the most dangerous positions to be out there is being a return guy. We proved me wrong though this last game at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, but Oklahoma has always, I felt like, put their best athlete back there to return kicks. I mean, Sterling did it.
JT Thatcher
did it.
The last really good one we had was who was it, Samuel? That he had 3 or 4 punt returns that whole year.
Yeah,
got him.
But
we cheating like that.
So what is this? The top of the ninth?
Top of the ninth. This is it. This is it for Atlanta. They got to get that guy from second base home. So no, he didn't go. So yeah, but I think Terry, even though it didn't look great, I still thought we played pretty good, and it looked a lot worse than it was. The defense was still flying around. They were still in the positions that they should have been in, and you didn't see receivers just running wide open. Now, they hit some plays on us, but there was a defender there.
Yeah.
So that's different than last year.
Yeah, and, they didn't put 40 up. Puka didn't, finally stop running on us, And again, I just think, just the whole surrounding of that game, the weather, and I know there's people out there going, well, you got to be at your best all the time. No, I mean, there's just sometimes when you play somebody really bad and you're looking to next week.
Yeah, you're looking to got to be looking to next week.
Yeah.
Right?
And, people said the same thing about Texas after the first quarter of the West Virginia game. They were like, they may have gotten themselves looking a little bit ahead to Oklahoma. Because let's face it, West Virginia.
They were 3-1, but they weren't a real 3-1 team.
Yeah,
right.
Or not very good.
Yeah.
So both teams looking forward to this week's game.
Yeah, and Oklahoma, I mean, there was 150 people at this game. I mean,
half were our fans,
and half of them were Oklahoma fans.
I think this is the second week in a row that we had more fans in the stands. And
our friend that was there, she said it was like legit 50-50 there.
Yeah, and you've got they show the one lady sitting up in the stands crocheting.
I missed that.
So
that's before the game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was no, and again, I'm not. Yeah, I am. I'm defending the team. I mean, they just weren't there, and we ended up putting the foot on the gas in the second half and took care of business, but that first half was just ugly. I mean, and as a fan, yeah, I was ticked off. I mean, I'm sitting here. About to lose my mind. And I think we do that more now than what we used to because, well, not really, because everything rides on every game right now. I mean, every single game, winning every game, looking impressive. Because you got to get into the playoffs. And I think fans, us included, Sooner fans are so keyed in on we have to do X, Y, and Z, every game, or we're going to get left out. And even though we beat Kansas, it was ugly. Somebody's going to, they're going to drop us in the polls. Well, right now, the polls don't matter until the first round of polls come out with the committee. When does that come out anyway?
I think it's in the month.
Week 8.
Week 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 more weeks. Yeah. End of the month. Good call, Caleb.
And it's always like the end of the month. So, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, you guys were way more confident in this game than I am. Because I hate the guy. I think that guy's going to pick us apart. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to stop us at all. Because their whole secondary is hurt. I just think it's going to be a shootout. And it's going to be close. Like, what's the spread? It's what, like 7?
I have no idea what the spread is.
7, I bet. Maybe 3 or 4. But, I don't know. I just don't. I mean, we haven't played against a capable quarterback all year, so this will be a first quarterback that actually can throw on us. Like the first one.
You don't think Derek King was pretty good?
He can't throw as well. He's good, but he can't throw. And then this is definitely the best offensive line we've seen all year. I mean, that's not even close.
Yeah, definitely the best offensive line. We're probably not going to get to him a whole lot. I mean, we might, just depending on the blitz package or whatever. But hopefully we get to him at least some, and get him.
I'm more worried about him running on us than their other team, than anyone else on the team running on us. Like like their
backs.
Backs, yeah. I'm more worried about him breaking out runs and that stuff like that. And I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know. This is the only time we're playing against like a legit offense. I think because I think even Houston, like their offensive line wasn't legit. Like we could bully them around. Like their quarterback was legit, and they had a couple good receivers. But this is the first time, man for man, they can match up with us, and like we just can't manhandle them. So it's gonna be interesting to see because our secondary is going to have to play this game.
Yeah,
I think
this is why I've been withholding.
So I mean
the Kool-Aid. I mean,
oh,
dropping.
Yes.
God dang it.
Tie ball game. It's all brand new game now, boys. A little bit longer, and that was out. Braves coming back from the grave here. Anyway, yeah, Terry, what we don't want is the performance yesterday to show up next week.
No, you can't.
Because we get beat if we do.
Yeah, you can't. We can't have what happened against Alabama come out and not, which is in essence kind of what happened yesterday. Oklahoma
against
came
Texas
out
last year. Came out flat.
Came out flat. Yeah, we can't do that. Although, I think that, even though we came out flat against Kansas, we were good enough to overcome it.
Right.
So we might be against Texas. I don't want to do that, but you can't do that against teams like Alabama.
No.
So.
No, and I'm starting to believe that this team is better than last year's team. I think Lincoln just keeps building a better, but this week's going to be, this is the week. This is the week either the Kool-Aid comes down or I throw it in the trash. I mean,
I'm saying, what if they score 35 points? But like they're hard 35 points to get. I mean, Texas offense is one of the best offense in the country. So I mean, I think 35 points is a good thing to hold them to.
Well, hey, I'm going to stick by my guns, and what I've always said is, we need 4 stops and hold them under 28 points.
Definitely. If we hold them 28 or under, we win.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we win if we hold them. If they get 35, I still think we win because I'm almost positive we're going to put the 40s on them.
It depends on how that 35 looks. You know what I mean? If they're just
going up and down,
and we don't get any stop. Yeah, that's a whole different deal than if we go out there and they score 35 and we score 52. And got stops and some turnovers and.
Well, what we don't want to see is we don't want to see Buki going, which way to go? And then Parnell Motley go, which way to who go? We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
If you're executing on us and you throw a 35-yard crossing route and we're right there step by step, I'm not going to say anything because they're playing
just throwing
football.
dimes. If he's just throwing dimes and they're catching, we're there. I mean, he's made a better throw.
But I don't want to see Buki standing there on his heels and receivers running behind him just like, we're out here all by ourselves.
Yeah. And, that's where we're going to see. I mean, we've said it all along. Granted, let's face it, other teams, the last couple of years have, well, not really until the Big 12 play, really got efficient against us.
Ball game. It's ball game.
That's 3.
Anyway, Braves go up 3-1.
That's game.
It's going to be 2-1. St. Louis has got
2-1.
Opportunity at the bottom of the ninth, but
maybe I don't like Carlos as a closer. He's not really a closer. Our main closer tore his pec halfway through the season, so
they're lighting this kid up.
Yeah.
Oh, them St. Louis fans! Did you see that? They weren't liking that at all.
No, but
he was up.
So
0-2. You can't throw a ball.
We've heard from Caleb as far as, his hatred of Eleanor. Rob, what is it about Texas that you hate, or why do you think Texas sucks?
Well, it starts with the color because, I mean,
it's baby carrot poop.
It's just ugly.
Orange, yeah.
It's just ugly. But I mean, they want to be included in the blue blood, but I just don't think they are.
Yeah. Well, they have the money. They have the money too, and that's why they think they should be included. They have the money.
Yeah. And
you're just not.
I mean, they're close. Wouldn't you agree? They're close.
Yeah, they're close.
But
I said that's the only reason is the money. Blue bloods also you have to have the championship pedigree behind you, and they don't have it.
And they don't have it. So how many teams? There's 6 teams in the 900-plus win category. Yeah. Now, some of those teams started 50 years before we did, so I'm not sure that really counts. But that gives you some indication. They're not in it yet, right?
No, they are. They have more wins than us.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
But
in fact, they went in right before we did, I think.
Yeah.
They have a few more wins. I think they have like 4 or 5 more wins than us, but that's pretty much it.
No, and that's all John Blake's fault. So we're laying that on him. But no, I mean, if you've been to the Texas game or you get to know Texas fans, they're just arrogant. You know what I mean? It's not even like you said, it's the colors. They always have an obnoxious coach. I mean, Mac Brown was obnoxious. Just the sound of his voice.
Answer that for Chris.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Fred Akers, was obnoxious.
And he accused us of cheating.
Yeah, they always whined. They complain all the time. Their coaches do. Mac Brown did about the horns down. He's the one who started all this horns down stuff.
I remember. Big sissy.
Yeah, that's if they would just take their hating and keep their mouth shut, probably people wouldn't be as relevant, or people wouldn't hate them as much. I mean,
the reason I hate them so much, And I know that, I mean, I didn't like them before, but the reason I hate them so much right now is because the Texas Longhorn Network, where they drove away Colorado, Nebraska, Missouri, and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Because we were strong. The Big 12 was a strong conference. Yeah. And then because they wanted their own little TV package, and those four teams jumped ship.
And wanted to run the conference. I mean, we got more money than everybody else, and Oklahoma was like, whoa, wait a minute. Not so much more money than everybody else.
Well,
but
they rent
they rent the Big 12, and it's cost them. Like you said, they haven't been the same ever since they got that got their own network.
Yeah, I love it when the catcher walks between the batter that just got hit.
He almost got hit. He's 99 at the face. He barely missed him.
Yeah, that guy needs to stop being a sissy and just trot on down to first base. Look at that face. That was hilarious. But yeah, that's where it starts with me. That's where it starts not starts, but that's what magnified it is when they ran off Nebraska.
Right.
I mean, Colorado and Missouri and Texas A&M, I mean, they are what they are. But Nebraska, if I'm going to include anybody, Nebraska or Texas in the Blue Blood program, it's going to be Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Texas has a better chance of coming back to Nebraska. I think Nebraska's dead as a program. I don't think they're ever going to be good again.
And you know what? If we had went to the Big Ten, we'd be in the same boat as Nebraska.
Yeah, probably.
Like Texas will always have a chance because they're in Texas, and there's that's like one of the best recruiting grounds in the country.
It is
Nebraska.
The best recruiting ground.
Nebraska, they can't go down there no more, and that's why they'll never be the same again. I don't think Nebraska's ever going to be back.
Nobody wants to go play in the Big Ten where you might have to go play in a snowstorm.
Right.
People unless you go to do that.
Unless you go to Ohio State.
Unless you go to Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a big recruiting tool. I mean, and Rob, you're right. I mean, I remember watching something. It was when they were talking to some of the basketball players. Michigan State, Magic went to Michigan State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd never seen snow a day in his life. And when he didn't have winter clothes, and he was talking about. It was freaking cold. I mean, it wasn't just cold. It was.
No one just go into Walmart and pick up a coat.
And you're right. I mean, these kids, it's Barry Switzer used to say it was hard to recruit to Norman when you got a team like Miami.
Oh, sure.
Taking the kids out here on boats. And
by the way, this is Miami Beach right here.
Yeah. So, which is why, we talked about it on the last podcast, all the money, the teams are putting so much money into facilities because, and you know what? Oklahoma's facilities will be outdated in 5 years.
Probably right.
And they'll have to redo them again. I mean, I remember when the Switzer Center, everybody said that was the greatest thing in football. And Oklahoma upgraded it a billion times to 1.
And they barely got the last brick in there before they turned it down and redo it.
So,
yeah.
But Cowboys are coming back.
The Switzer Center is pretty nice now.
Yeah, and all these teams and the ones up north are putting in these facilities to offset and to match up. Hey, come and look what we have. I mean, Clemson has a slide, which is dumb, but I guess it
works.
It works. They got a slide that you can, instead of walking down the stairs, you can take the slide.
Yeah.
They'll do that until until their quarterback wrenches an ankle coming off that thing, and that slide will come down. How much you want to bet?
That would be hilarious.
So we're not going to make any Texas predictions yet, I don't guess, other than
you guys are definitely more confident, though, right? Compared to last year, how you feel about this game?
I am never overly confident. Well, I would say that, but
last year you're guaranteed to win. So
Texas scares me every year. It just does. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's because you can throw out the records.
Well, I'm just happy
the rankings. You can throw all that out.
I'm happy you didn't guarantee to win this time because last year you guaranteed it. I guarantee we're going to win. I guarantee it. That's how you opened the podcast last year for this week.
He's got a really good memory.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because I was mad when you said it, and then because what's going to happen, we're going to win.
Yeah, well, my apologies, Caleb. It's all my fault, but
it was our fault.
Steve Bullard, he put out the deal today. Not that I'm superstitious or anything, but wherever you ate at last year on game day, do not eat there this year.
So I guess you guys are leaving then the house for a little bit.
So, No, I mean, Texas always, like I said, Texas always, just the week scares me because you just,
Oh my goodness.
There's talk and work up.
Can we put it back on the baseball game?
Yeah, we got it back on the Cowboys-Packers game, and
Dak's throwing right
ball
to wide receivers.
Right to the Packers receiver, DB.
It's terrible. Terrible. Hey, I played some golf today.
How did that go?
Oh my gosh. It's like I never put them down.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding you. I played lights out. I only played 9.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go then. Jeez.
Oh man. I shot even par on 9 holes.
Really?
And I had a bogey on a par 5, which was bad. I mean, the wind was blowing, so I hit a long 9 that it blew me off, and I had to chip up and miss the par putt, and I bogeyed that one. But the very next hotel, you probably remember, you played out there with me before. It's the one all the way in the back where it goes 317 yards and then takes a sharp left.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm not going to drive it out of the, because I'm not hitting it as far as I used to. And I'm like, I'm not going to drive it out of the fairway, so I'm just going to, tee it up and just try and hit a nice little draw and see if I can, I hit it 10 yards out, past through the fairway. There's those trees back there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm on that tee box, right, that's behind that hole. And those trees are right there. There is no going through them. So I'd take out the sanding, put it on my left foot, and go over the top of them. And these guys were waiting on me, and they were standing there. And I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. Anytime anybody's watching you.
Yeah.
But I put it up there, and, I took a good cut at it right over the tops of those trees. Lands right on the green, and I just looked over there, and I go, hey, did that hit the green? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, walked up and birdied that hole. I played really well.
So you went and played golf, and Caleb went to see the Joker.
It's called Joker, not the Joker. It's
Okay.
called
You
Joker.
did see it?
I saw it, yeah.
And?
It's very dark, very weird. It's good. I say to people it's not for everyone. If you like, I just go see it because Joaquin Phoenix. He's really good. But it's a very, very weird movie. It's good, though. But it's just
I'm not sure if that's a good review or a bad one.
It's a good movie because of Joaquin's really good in it. Like he's pretty, he's crazy and it's kind of amazing. But it's weird. He's he's crazy and you go through his day to day, like how he sees stuff that's not there and stuff like that, and he's just a psychopath. And then it's a weird movie because you're following around like a psychopath the whole time.
Do you recommend it?
Do you like Taxi Driver?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
With Robert De Niro?
Oh, the old one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you like this. That's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro.
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. So.
You slowly see him fall apart more and more and more until he breaks into the Joker.
Okay.
So it's good. I said Joaquin's amazing in it. So he's the reason why you go see it. But it's if you don't like movies like that, you see a guy slowly go crazy. But he's already crazy to start with, and you see him break more and more and more. Yeah.
So you think that's Tom Herman's week this week is sitting around going more and more crazy?
Sitting around in his underwear with crayons?
That's just what happens to the Joker. He's in his underwear a lot doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, so, trying to figure out how to stop Oklahoma.
Well, that's not his job. His job is the offensive stuff. His job is to keep up with us because he's an offensive guy.
So
he was the Lincoln guy before Lincoln, pretty much. Everyone was like, this guy's the next genius, blah, 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 blah. Then we got Lincoln, came out of nowhere. It's like, well, we just did better than you guys again.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to this game. I hate Texas. I want to beat them so bad.
This is like the game of the year, pretty much. If we win this game, we should win every other game.
We should.
We shouldn't lose another game. So until we play them again, probably Big 12 championship. This is the game that
it's been circled. Everybody's been talking about for almost a year now. After the Big 12,
we get the hat back because we didn't get it back last Big 12 championship. Because that's what Texas players said. Was the hat still in Austin? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Big 12 champions.
You know what? That hat can stay in Austin as long as we win the second one. I don't want it to.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I'd definitely rather win the Big 12 championship than the golden hat.
I'm just getting nervous. It's especially you go to that game. this atmosphere there's crazy, and then like nothing makes you more angry than hearing their fans chant their stupid fight song. And they all just yell, "Oh, you sucks" at the end.
You know what it was last year? You remember we saw the golden hat,
Mm-hmm.
and we were unimpressed.
Yeah.
Because we were like, it's just a daggum hat. There's somebody spray
painted
painted gold. It's dorky. I thought it was like,
Yeah, we went to pick it up to hold it to heavy, and it was like, whoop, holy, this thing is just.
I thought it was going to be metal.
Yeah, nope,
It's not. It's just a nappy old hat.
Larry's cowboy hat that somebody
had a little extra gold paint and they sprayed it up. I'm like, what is this? What kind of rinky-dink trophy you got going on here?
Yeah, but
so now that we know, we're okay.
But I wonder if that's the original hat or if there's been multiple hats.
I'm pretty sure it might probably original.
I don't know, but
Cups,
they
Stanley Cups.
They take a picture with that thing, and everybody's got it on their head.
So you know that.
And they're all sweaty. Yeah. Maybe a little Lysol.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, well, I guess that's it, everybody, for today's podcast. Texas sucks. Hate Texas with all your might. It's in Tara Portillo's Bible somewhere. So that's it. Horns down, Rob.
Horns down, Terry.
Horns down, Caleb.
Horns down.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Sooner Football Fans Podcast is hosted by Rob Nixon, Terry Long, and occasionally Caleb Long. It is produced at the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma. Follow us on Twitter at SoonerFBFans and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Sooner Football Fans, and visit our website at www.SoonerFootballFans.com to read our blogs and keep up with our tailgating activities. Boomer Sooner, everyone.